Hi, I'm Debbie Bachman with the Venture and Emerging Brands Group at the Coca-Cola Company, and continuing our series on our brand building phases. And this month we're talking about the second of the four, which is the proof of concept phase. And I had a chance to talk with Deryck Van Rensburg, who is the President and GM of the Venture and Emerging Brands Group, and I hope you enjoy the video. Thanks a lot. I have Deryck Van Rensburg, who is the President and GM of VEB. So welcome, Deryck.
Thanks, Debbie.
And this is a very important phase for us because this is a phase that we typically like to get involved with brands. So why don't you talk a little bit about the statistics of the brands in this phase?
It's a very difficult phase, but therein lies the challenge and the opportunity for entrepreneurs based on a very extensive study of several thousand brands in the US beverage industry. What we found was that only 3% of them actually made it past $10 million of revenue. So that means about 30 brands out of 1,000 brands are making it past the first phase of experimentation into the proof of concept phase. So it's a tough challenge.
And what about, how do we evaluate brands? How do we know when a brand has gotten to this phase?
Yeah, I mean, picking future winners, which is what we're trying to do in VEB, is a bit more of an art than a science, frankly. But a typical checklist would include a couple of dimensions, and I'll go through some of them. I think first of all we look for the uniqueness and the authenticity of the brand idea. So is there something really unique about this brand idea that separates it from the thousands of others? Is there a product functionality story? I mean, is there a rational basis for why this product would make your life better or simpler as a consumer? And then we look for the quality of the consumer connection. Is there a deep engagement with the target ethnography? Consumers passionate about this brand in their daily lives. We also look at quality of revenue because you can get revenue in a number of ways. You can get your revenue quickly by going to mass retailers or mass outlets or trying to build distribution across the whole country, for example. We don't look for that. We look for deep and narrow revenue in the beginning. We try and assess whether that brand really has built a deep following in a certain set of channels or a certain number of cities. And the deeper the brand is, the better. So the quality of the revenue is really important. And then we try and make a judgment as to the relevance of that idea to future mainstream. So some ideas, when you look at them, you say, well, I just can't imagine that ever being a mainstream idea. And that's where the art piece clearly comes in. It's definitely a judgment call. All ideas start really as niche ideas, but buried within them sometimes are the seeds of greatness. And so you try and judge whether this idea can go beyond being a niche idea to being a mainstream idea. We also try and look at gross profit structure. Obviously most emerging brands at this stage are not making a profit. They're losing money because they're investing everything that they have in building the brand and supporting it. But at least at the gross profit level, is there a sort of a healthy structure to that brand, the way that they price it, the way that they source their ingredients, and the way that they deal with the channels and the packaging that allows it to have a decent gross profit structure. And then finally, and perhaps even sometimes more importantly, it's the quality of the management team. We've seen lots of great ideas, but it's really the passion of the entrepreneur and the quality of the team that he or she has assembled around them that I think determines the success. Venture capitalists have a very interesting sort of maxim. They say that a first-class entrepreneur with a second-class idea is better than a first-class idea with a second-class entrepreneur. And I think that is true. I think the quality of the team, have they got experience in their backgrounds of dealing with setbacks and failure? Because we know for sure that in an emerging brand, you never achieve your business plan first time round. There's always going to be plan B, plan C, plan D. And so having the ability to adjust, to improvise, to deal with disappointment is an important feature? What's the leadership strength like? Their passion, their aggression in the marketplace. Those are all important qualities. So that's quite a list, but it's a sort of a blend of a bit of science, a bit of art, and informed, of course, by experience.
And we've been liking VEB to have partnered with entrepreneurs who have that passion
Sure.
and knowledge. So, since we said this is when VEB does the majority of our investments, why did we pick this phase? What's so important about it?
Yeah, the study we did gives us some empirical data, which suggests that the risk rate goes down significantly when you achieve this inflection point. So it's really a question of managing our risk, and not only just managing the risk, but making sure that we're putting our money behind ideas that already seem to have traction with the consumer. There's another dimension, though, is not only is it an important inflection point with the consumer, as I've mentioned, but it's also an important inflection point in the commercial journey of that entrepreneur and his company. Because usually at around this phase, they start needing support. They start needing the help of other parties. We're an entity that sort of eats, sleeps, drinks, beverages, and emerging brands. And so we think we offer a very attractive and interesting proposition for entrepreneurs to potentially partner with them to help them achieve their visions, their dreams, and help them scale and accelerate their businesses. We offer obviously more than just the financial resources by investing in them, but we also bring a tremendous amount of capabilities, being, of course, linked to a world-class company like Coca-Cola company.
So, Deryck, thank you so much for your time. And be sure to follow us on Twitter. We're at VEBatCoke. And our website is www.VEBatCoke.com. Thanks a lot.